boarded our flight. Now it is June 5th. We lost a day and going to Auckland. So we left Auckland from our hotel after picking up my brother Anil, and this is at 4 a.m. We headed out to Paihia, and remember we are driving from the left hand side to the right hand side of the road, and so trying to get used to the road and to the much slower traffic, the speed in New Zealand, and just trying to adjust to that. So very interesting, lovely morning. So let's see. And it was fairly warm that morning, so we're just trying to make the best of that drive. And we had a really nice drizzle, a bit of a rain, and amazing to see the lush green of the northern areas of Auckland as we are driving further and further north. And it's really beautiful. We had a very nice car. It was, I think, a Toyota Highlander, and as you can see, the road signs pointing us towards Paihia. And that will be our destination for today, for this morning, and then from there hotel and to many other things, to all the cruises and Bay of Island cruises and so forth. So we'll see how it all unfolds. And also somewhere along the road we found a Z gas station, and we made a quick stop. And it's about 10 after 7, and so we've been driving for a little over 3 hours, so that gas station break was really nice. The first thing we went for was the chicken pie and some coffee, which was absolutely mind-blowing, fantastic. Really revived us to continue with the drive. And this scene you can see that the steering wheel is on the other side of the car, and I'm driving on the left side, so it was kind of weird, but we're getting used to it. And since the speed was very low, it was very, very nice, easy drive, only 60 kilometers, which is less than what we drive on the safer streets in California. Our highway speeds are usually 70 miles per hour, whereas over there the highest was like 70 kilometers in New Zealand. So have to watch out your speed, but it's great. Another thing really important to mention here is, oh, by the way, look at the speed, 80 kilometers per hour, which is very low. In miles, it's probably like 40 miles, something like that. But what I was saying is important to notice the narrow roads, the windy roads going to Paihia. But just look at the green. It's so beautiful. I mean, it's just amazing, and that makes the drive totally worth it. So even though you are going slow, you get to see all the natural beauty of the green New Zealand wonderland. Really amazing. I would really recommend sticking to the speeds, because it is very easy to to speed up, especially if you're going from the US, where the posted sign is 70 miles, which nobody really sticks to. Everybody is like 80 or more. That would translate to over 130 kilometers, 130, 140. So just keep that in mind and just kind of enjoy the beauty. And you can see that we are very close to Paihia now. Getting excited, started seeing the coastline and getting very close to the place where we are going to be staying, and which was at the Kingsgate Hotel, which is almost like right across from the where the Great Sights ferries are. So that's a really nice hotel to stay at, and the scene was very beautiful, just looking out the bay right there at the wharf. About 100 meters or maybe 150 feet to walk to the office of the Great Sights, and very centrally located, so a lot of good stuff, a lot of foods available, and really nice hotel. I would totally recommend that hotel. And there it is on the left hand side. If you look at the signboard, I think should be coming up right there. Turning into that, that's the Kingsgate Hotel. And so we booked 2 rooms for my brother and for us, and getting ready to settle in after the long drive. And you can see right in front, directly in front, that's the wharf. That's where that's walking distance, and that's where the Great Sights Hole in the Rock cruises start. That's where they assemble people, and so we just did a quick short walk after our breakfast, and we were on our way. It was really nice. Very nice, really beautiful. I mean, look at that. And just as I had said earlier, we started walking. There was a slight drizzle, but that was really wonderful, the very refreshing drizzle. And after the long drive, it was a little bit tiring, but the air was so fresh. I mean, it was really rejuvenating. And as you can see, there are other tourists also probably making their way to the Great Sights, and people doing their morning walk. So we went there in good time. Our ferry was leaving at 10 in the morning, and that's why we left at 4 a.m. So we were already there, and took all our stuff. Really enjoyed that little hike to stretch our legs. And you can see my little train of people enjoying the freshness of the morning.
Still at Paihia, but just to see a little bit. Okay, this is at the grave site. We are here.
And that's the walkway to the harbor, to the wharf.
Raining.
And this is the office, Fuller's Great Sites.
Chilly.
And that's the fish that I had caught the last time, and so they made it into like a little metal statue or something. I'm just kidding. There's the family all ready to go, all excited, and that little bit of rain, we just loved it. So nice. It was really refreshing, especially that in Fresno we don't get any rain, so that rain, we were just loving it. And you can see the sun trying to come out of those clouds. The weather was forecasted to be cloudy, and it is.
That's the building.
So the weatherman was correct, and we're just enjoying every bit of it, the freshness, going there. So this is the trip to the hole in the rock, and we're now making our way to the edge of the wharf there, and trying to see if our boat is there, which is a smaller boat this time, the blue one that you can see.
That's the boat. We're gonna go in,
and we'll be
and
going on that
the
particular
last time we came, it was
today.
the same captain.
So
Same
let's
guy.
see
And we met him
what
and we
happens.
had a
People
nice
are
long
already
chat
lining up,
with him, and he'll allow us
and
to
it
go
seems
to the
like I recognize that captain.
cockpit and
He was
do
the
something.
same guy that took us the last
drive
time,
around
8 years
something.
ago when we were there,
So hope
Captain Tyro.
hopefully
So
it's a
we
great
had a little
experience
chat with him
again.
a little bit earlier, and I was very excited. So he invited Suraj again to the captain's wheel, and see if we could do some things over there.
Okay, and here we are, going for hole in the rock. And the gangway. Cepat tahu opua. That's our captain. Good morning. Bula. Good morning, captain. How are you?
I think the best time to go on tours like this is during New Zealand's winter, because although it's winter for New Zealand, it's really kind of warm for us, and we were like totally enjoying the weather. The jackets were a little unnecessary, but we were still wearing it. And those are both the captains. That's Captain Tairo, our friend. He's from Rarotonga, and he's also Fijian, and so he's become our good friend. And
Really lovely.
so going back to the weather scene, so the best time is in winter. Winter is their winter is very mild, so it's really wonderful. And there's less people, so
Facing the other way.
everything is less expensive. They give big discounts and stuff like that. So that would be the time to go if you wanted to travel from the US.
Rika is the Maori name for this peninsula. And korora in Maori meaning the little blue penguin, that's what it means, korora. Rika meaning nice or sweet. And the name for the township is from a story about a Maori chief in this area a long time ago. And he was nursed back to health by his tribe with an offering of a broth that was made out of the little blue penguin. So I'm assuming at some stage of him consuming this broth, he did say, "Oro Rarika, how sweet is this penguin?" And the name has always been adopted in the township. But from 1840 until to this day, it was also known as Russell. Russell comes from the first Secretary to the States, Lord John Russell, who later became the Prime Minister of Great Britain. The first Russell in New Zealand is is actually to our right, very far distance, a place called Paihia. It's the first Russell, or the first capital as well. Then there was one across here too, called Auckland. Then it was taken down to Auckland, just down the side. 2 o'clock this afternoon, we should be back here in Kororarenga, Russell. If you would like to go ashore, explore the township at your own leisure, you are most welcome to do so. If you do leave us here this afternoon, you will have to find your way back to Paihia on the passenger ferries that operate to and fro, Kororarenga to Paihia. And the ferries leave every half hour. There's a ferry leaving until 5 o'clock and 5 till late 9 o'clock top hour every hour. So if you're looking for some activity to fill in your time this afternoon, why not? Have a look around Kororarenga, Russell. Now in the township itself, they've got historical sites of interest. The very far right hand side is the Paihia house, established by the Jean-Baptiste Paihia, and he was very much in charge of the Catholic mission up here in the north of the period. We've got the Gables restaurant. It's the first restaurant to be ever established in this country. It's here in Kororarenga, Russell. And the foundation of this restaurant was made out of whale bones back in the times. Whale was the main industry. Now we also have the Duke of Marlborough 7. That is the first pub in New Zealand to receive its liquor license, originally known as John Johnson's Grog Shop. So who was this John Johnson? He was actually a convict from Australia. He made his way across here to New Zealand, Bay of Islands. He saw the light change his ways and he built a pub. I don't know how that works out. A little later on, of course, they decided to change the name to the Duke of Marlborough 7 with the intentions of attracting more prosperous customers as the Duke was.
Although the temperature wasn't very low, but the wind chill does say its thing. So, as I said earlier about the jacket being redundant, probably a good idea to carry one because
Well, the
out
sun
in
is
the
staying
ocean
out for us, which
it
is
does get
brilliant.
cold.
Oh, you're good.
Point of time
You're
to
good.
keep us nice and warm. The wind's coming from the south to our right, and that's why it's a bit chilly at the moment. Lots of snow further south, so if you're into skiing, it's probably a good idea to head down to the south at the moment. Lots and lots of snow down there. But anyway, up here in the north we don't get snow. The frost is probably the worst we will get up here in the Bay of Islands. It's the frost, so we get no snow here in the Bay of Islands. We do get very cold winds coming from the south. Now there is an island to our left hand side. It is island number it's island number 7. And by the way, the island is called Motu Arohia, Motu and Maori meaning island. That's a beautiful Maori name. Arohia, Motu meaning island, and Arohia meaning love. Now, this side of the island is known as Maori as Ōta basically is very early Maori settlement on this side of the island. It's also known as Cook's Cove. Captain James Cook went ashore here in 1769. He was an English explorer. Now, if you look to the left, a little bit harsh at the moment on your eyes because the sun is reflecting on the water here to the left. But there is a reef or a rock just out there to the left, right where their sun is at the moment, reflecting on the water. Don't stare at the sun, it's not good for your eyes, unless you have polarized glasses on.
That rock there.
But that rock and reef is a concrete plaque. It's about here to our left 9 o'clock. There's a concrete plaque sitting on top of that rock or reef. And it has been specifically placed there to commemorate Captain James Cook, the helter for the very first time of the Maori people. There are 5 holiday homes on this side of the island. They're all private homes. 5 holiday homes. Oh, it's one of the owners. He's just come back from the shop. He's getting some milk and sugar for his cup of tea. How convenient. Wake up in the morning. Oh, no milk and sugar.
Wow.
Get the helicopter and fly to town and buy some. Okay. So they've landed up there. So there are 5 holiday houses. There's one house up there with the helicopters just settled up there on that landing pad. But the house out here to the left, just behind the wharf, has just recently sold for $7.5 million. So somebody turned up one day with $7.5 million and said, I'll buy that house on the left, and they bought it. So the last 3 months it's been sold. These places don't come out for sale that often. People that usually have these areas live here for as long as they can. So I'm assuming the previous owners must be getting along at the time, maybe. Now, a little bit more about Captain James Cook. He was here in 1769. He discovered the Bay of Islands by accident. He was on the outskirts of the bay. He was very much determined to find the south of the continent and also to observe the transit of the planet Venus in the Far East. That was his main objective. Now, back in those days, Europe had this great idea that there was a southern continent. Apparently they heard it through stories and legends, and they also had this theory. So if they have all that land up there, and that side of Europe, it must be a big land mass down this side. But now we know it's now the Dutch were looking for it, the French were looking for it, Captain Cook was here on the behalf of Great Britain. So anyway, because of bad weather, he ended up in the spot right here. Now, if you thought about this story in this manner, if the weather was nice, like we had today, Captain Cook, there's actually another single soul here. We're the only one. But it's very, very popular, John, because lots of people do attend to the area itself. And it's also used in quite a few promotions in the Bay of Islands. You'll notice photographs of the bay. You see a lot of it with terminal units in it, aerial shots maybe. Now all these trees that you can see on the island, they're known as the Eastern pine. Known as maritime pine as well. So yes, here they are. They're all over the island. Okay, this is island number 7. What to here? Keep saying that number, I don't know why. So our next island will be island number 11. It'll be the island of So we're going to travel to
Skip some numbers. What's the difference, right?
We shall be there in about 6 minutes time. Give you enough time to practice that one.
Uru puka puka. Going to Uru puka puka.
According to Captain James Cook, we have 144 islands together in the bay. According to this account, he was here in 1769. It was over 250 years ago. When he was counting, apparently he counted everything. Officially, as we understand, they tell us now there are 88 islands altogether. 88. Now, to be considered as an island, it has to be above Now, the reason for our early attendance to the area, we have people that are getting off, 2 passengers are getting off, and we've got some staff that will be attending to the restaurant and the cafe. So there's a restaurant and a cafe out here to the left. The beautiful bay to the left that we will attend to very soon. It's called Paihia Bay. Paihia in Māori meaning the jewel of the island. And the restaurant and the cafe is going to be available for all of us you guys at some stage this morning. But at the moment, if you have got a blue wristband, look at your wristband, what colour is your wristband? If it's blue, it means you're getting up on the island at this point of time. Apparently you don't want to go any further, this is as far as you want to go. And that's pretty cool, no problem at all. Now if you're getting off now on the island, then it's important for you to know, remember, that this boat leaves this island at 1:45 this afternoon. So please do not miss the boat. It leaves at 1:45, so we can get back to Paihia at 2:30 this afternoon. So that's our departure time. We're leaving now at 1:45. Please, whatever you do not miss the boat. And if you ever do miss the boat, don't panic. You wait for us on the wharf. We have not forgotten you. We will come back and pick you up tomorrow around about the same time. Please don't miss the boat. Now, while you are sure for the 2 passengers that are getting off at this point in time, just keep in mind the restaurant and the cafe is available for you. Just got to give the staff maybe 15 minutes to get ready. And have it exposed for you folks. There are toilets up there, there's going to be food up there, and also a bar on the island. Some of you folks might be happy about that. So anyway, so you can use that area. If you want to go for a walk, you take the walk to the right hand side and takes you to the series. Right at the very top, beautiful view throughout the area. Now, if you've got a yellow wristband on, please stay on board. You need to turn the whole
Huh?
clock. It's your full
No, छोड़ के कुछ नहीं.
presentation this morning is to get us the whole room. So we'll go around the corner, go a little bit further, and we'll see what's waiting for us out there. Now, our Project Island Song, the Department of Conservation and the local tribe in the area, Aneropati, the local Māori tribe.
Okay, come here. Oh my God. Hope it doesn't give a flying shit. At this point, we were just about to enter the ocean. You can see the line over there of the bay and the ocean. And as soon as we hit the ocean water, it got really rough. And this is just the beginning. So it doesn't show much, but as soon as we started into the ocean, the water was really rough and started throwing everybody around, so everybody had to hold up. I think the winds picked up really quickly, and that's when it became very cold all of a sudden. You can see people leaving the upper deck and going into the safer areas at the bottom. The wind was really kicking up the water and making it very rough, so people were hanging on, and those who couldn't handle it had to go to the deck below. But it was still very beautiful, a totally unique experience. But for sure everybody needed to hang on. Camera does not do that justice, but it's stabilizing it. But it was very rough, and you can see me wiping the camera lens, the GoPro lens, because of the water spraying onto us. And I was at the back of the boat because I thought I might get a better view, but I think I was getting splashed around a little bit more than possibly the people in the front. But I don't know if it was worse or better. But it was a great experience.
Well, we have slowed down. Going to talk about this piece of land to the right, and we followed it all the way out here. This is as far as it extends. This is actually the eastern coastline of the bay. This is as far east as you can go. In front of us, around the corner to the right, you start to head down south to places such as Paihia. Paihia is the next line heading south of the Bay of Islands. Now, the name for this peninsula, this one is a bit of a mouthful as well. The name for this peninsula, the Maori name, is Manga. That is a tricky one, isn't it? Yeah, that is a tricky one. Rako Manga. Okay, my crew Courtney's just come to the wheelhouse and said, look at my hair. You having a bad hair day, Courtney? Because there's standing in the wind. Okay, she's probably not the only one. Anyway, Rako Manga to the right. Rako Manga refers to a leaning tree with branches on this tree originating all the way back to East Malaysia to our left-hand side in the very far distance, which is the spiritual homeland of the Maori people. So that is the understanding of Rako Manga. Now, at the very top there to the right, we have a lighthouse that doesn't work anymore. It is there for historical purposes. The lighthouse was built in the teens in the Coromandel south of Auckland, but it has been up here since 1910. That was a long time ago. From 1910 to 1978, 3 lighthouse keepers and their families were in charge looking after the lighthouse. Now, sadly, 1978, the lighthouse was made automated. I guess you could say the lighthouse keepers ran out of the job. Now, the light these days
the captain was explaining all these islands, so I kind of muted this and moved along because the audio wasn't too great. There was a lot of static because of the wind. The camera was picking up a lot of wind noise, so I just deleted it and have done a voiceover. But we're getting closer and closer to the hole in the rock, and everybody's excitement was just getting higher and higher, and every little rock that we saw with a little hole in it, we thought that was it, but it was obviously a little further out. It could be this one, but as we get near, we'll see. And that is the famous hole in the rock. But as you can see, the waters are very rough. Does not look like this from the top of the ship, but the boat is getting thrown around. So in the interest of safety, the captain decided not to go through that hole. The last time we went, it was very calm, and he went in a bigger ship. He went across, through the rocks, and it was a great experience because there was only like maybe a foot or so on either side of the boat. But this boat is smaller, but just because the rocks, the waves are so rough, that it would just definitely throw the boat onto the rocks, and there's probably no surviving that because it's out in the ocean and it's very cold, so could be a mess. So I'm glad the captain decided not to go through, and showed us really nice view, and kept us safe and brought us back safely to shore.
Oh, he's landing it up. He's landing it up. Oh, yeah, like it. Lapko niya yun. I know.
I'm not a kidding.
But bigay, the thing is too rough. Doon na sa pag-go. Oh my God.
No, I got my head.
Damn, it's really rough.
So the captain brought us as close to the rock, to the hole in the rock as possible, and as you can see how the waves are just the power of the waves splashing against the rocks, and with that big boat. But everybody trusted the experience of Captain Tero. I think he has been working there for over 17 years, and he's an excellent guide and a captain and a wonderful person. So good decision, great decision. I totally agree with that, because I don't want to go for a swim in those waters.
Yeah, 150 feet. Oh, 159.
Hole in the rock.
Okay, now wait first.
You go sit down, everybody go sit down. I'm sorry already.
It's gonna be really. Why don't you hold the rail? I'm gonna sit down. It's too rough.
And now we are speeding away from that hole in the rock that you see in the background, and on our way to the deep ocean, trying to see catch some whales, orca, dolphins, anything that would show up to the surface. And the last time we were very fortunate to see so many dolphins, and they were just accompanying the ship, and orcas. But today we were not very fortunate, I guess because of the rough weather, or maybe they just knew that we were fishing boat. Actually, they are protected animals, so no fishing of them. It's according to some passengers. But it was a great experience. Really. Okay, so now we are at the island of Puka Puka, returning from the hole in the rock because the weather was really bad. The sea was very rough, so no chance of going through the hole, and so we rushed back because it started raining very heavy and it was too dangerous. So we had to go downstairs and sit underneath because there's too much water spray on the top deck. Now we are at this restaurant. Let's see what's happening here on this island. Oh my god! That's something else. Holy moly! Wait, that's a big fish. I know. So this is on the island of Russell, and so we also bought another excursion of Russell Island mini tours, and this is what we are going to do next. So the ferry will leave us because it has to go back to the mainland, but we will continue with our exploration of Russell Island, and that's the office right there, and to the right that's the minivan that we are gonna go on for our tour. If you have liked my videos, I would really appreciate if you could hit the like button and the subscribe and share with your family and friends. Hope this has some meaning for you, as the trip was to us, and appreciate you watching my video. Thank you. Have a great day.